Hey there, Arty Buddies. Just to give you a little bit of an update because I can't touch the house now for the next couple of days because as you can see it's drying out, but it's going to be probably Sunday at the earliest that I'm going to be able to paint this. Looking a little bit wonky where it's drying out, that's because I put it together and these bits obviously have no support, but that is absolutely fine because what I don't want it to be is perfect because it's a fairy house, and you know, little bits like that add to its charm. So since I last saw you, I've actually put the house together by just sort of attaching the sides. I've reinforced them inside as well with more clay to give it a bit more strength. So you know, you can actually move it. It's quite heavy at the moment because it's still got a lot of moisture in it, adding to the weight, but when it dries out it'll be lighter. I've made this little chimney and hopefully I've made it to look like sort of local stone. Yeah, and then what I'll do is I'll pick out those colours of local stone and paint the cement in between. So that's the structure as it is. Now for the roof, I've got one piece which is partly dry. It's still got another at least couple of days before it's going to be dry enough to put on the house, and that will sit like this. I put a little window in there. Okay, had to do some repairs this morning, but that's the beauty of working with air drying clay. You can, while it's sort of in that drying stage, you can go back to it and alter it. And I just had to alter it because my window was sitting back a little bit and didn't look right. So this will go on like that, and I've got a plain piece to go on this side because obviously the chimney's there and you wouldn't have a window near a chimney because you'll smoke your little fairies out. Okay, now I was going to make this look like it was thatched. Still could do that if I sort of got hold of the materials, went for a walk where I could get hold of stuff that would look like thatch. But actually what I've got a lot of in my garden is bark. Got quite a lot of it. So I'm thinking that I'm going to break up the bark into strips and little pieces, and I'm actually going to give it a bark roof, which I think will look pretty cool, make it look like it really is in the woods. So that's what I'm going to do. Right, can't paint it until it's properly dry. If you try and paint air drying clay before it's properly dry, what you do is you're sealing in the moisture, so your paint over time will probably peel off. So once it's dry completely, I'm going to give the inside, everything on the inside and the inside of the chimney, sort of from there, I'm going to give the inside of the chimney a coating of PVA glue or Mod Podge. And what that'll do is that will seal it, because I don't really want the moisture to get into it, because what'll happen is it'll start to crack. So I'll seal it, and then on the outside everything will be painted with acrylic, which again, because it is acrylic, it will seal it. And then when I've done that, I'll give the whole thing a coat of acrylic varnish to seal it again. I will put it outside, but I will keep an eye on the weather. It'd take a little bit of rain, but you couldn't leave it out the whole summer. But you know, it is what it is. What I am thinking of doing, once I was sitting here looking at it before I switched the camera on, what I'm thinking of doing is actually getting some coloured plastic, or maybe sea glass, which I collect when I take the dog for a walk on the beach. Sea glass, I might use some acetate with tissue paper in it, because I think it might be nice to either have little stained glass windows or sort of just one colour window, so that when the tea lights are on in there, it'll give it a really, really nice glow. And obviously you won't be able to see sort of the bare walls in there. So I think that's what I'm going to do, and I'll just use glue to go in there, just glue it with my glue gun, which is what I use to put the bark on and attach the roof onto here, and also to attach the chimney onto the house. So I hope that's enough information for you. Just again, show you, remember these. So if you're going to get some air drying clay, you can get it from the range. Hobbycraft isn't open obviously, but the range is. You can go and get a bag of air drying clay, small one, about like that. I have got one for about £3, £4 possibly, no more than that. And you could have a little go at doing some of these things. And what I didn't show you the other day was my teddy bear. I made a little teddy bear with a honey pot. See, it's quite fragile, the carpet it's on, but that is all air clay. Okay, so you could just play. Just play with it, and I hope you do. And when you do, please send me some of your pictures. Okay, bye.